the Great Pyramids of Giza, Cheez Whiz, and Pauly Shore. What do all of these things have in common? They all may have been influenced by extraterrestrial life forms. Stay tuned and you too can learn the truth about the history of historic things and historical truths. On the night of June 14th, 1999, normal Texas man Jones Longbottom experienced an amazing experience.
So what happened that night was I was in my truck, smoking me a cigar, out with my buddies, when all of a sudden I see a beam of light come out from in the field. And I think, now what is that? And at first I thought it was someone trying to get into my property. And I thought, they ain't getting in my property. So I go up there and I shout and I scream and I say, hey, you can't be here. This is my property. Go away. And then the light shines on me. And I thought it was headlights or something. But no, it came from the sky. And I look up and I think, what is going on here? This ain't your normal everyday peeper. But then all of a sudden, I start to feel very light. And I realize I'm floating in the air. I don't honestly know what's going on. And I look and I see my buddies driving up like, hey, where are you going? I'm flying in the air. I'm going to heaven or something. But I woke. I was on some kind of hospital bed. I found out it was an examination table. But I look up and I see these tiny little things floating in the air. Like, they kind of looked like fetuses. And they were little kind of yay big fetus aliens just floating around me. And I was pretty freaked out. But then a really tall, long fetus walks in through these doors. And all the littler fetuses, they leave. And then the tall fetus alien picks me up. And I'm floating in the air. And next thing I know, I'm stripped down butt naked. So then I look and I'm scared, like, oh my gosh, what is this fetus alien gonna do? When I see that the long fetus has something emerge from her chest, and it's a tiny little fetus, and it's like really kind of like that big. And I think, what's gonna do with that? What's she gonna do with that? It bends me over in the air, and it shoves that tiny little fetus alien right up my. I personally believe that Mr. Longbottom's story is completely not made up. I have no doubts about what happened that night. You can ask my buddy. He was there with me. My best mate. He flew up with me. Yeah, he came back from the truck. His name is Happy Madison. Happy Madison. He was there with me. Oh, well, I forgot. The aliens had this big kind of like tin can thing that they put over his head. Had like a spike that went into his brain. And they sucked out all his memories, so he doesn't remember any of it. Yeah, he doesn't remember it.
Could it be true that extraterrestrial life forms are impregnating humans to create half-human, half-alien hybrids? Alien encounter theorists say yes. As evidence, they point to the existence of Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore is a failed comedian known for making horrible films such as Son-in-Law, Biodome, and In the Army Now.
Paper covers rock, to lose a buckwheat.
Think that means it goes both ways?
I don't know, but we do. I am so fat.
No, you're not. No,
Nobody likes me.
Beautiful.
People didn't like me in high school.
Everybody loves you.
Oh, thank you.
Shut up! Marco! Shut up!
If you want to talk about it, it's... Why did you do that?
I have no doubts that Pauly Shore is a human-alien hybrid, because there is no way that a normally functioning human being could be so annoying.
Is Pauly Shore really an alien-human hybrid? According to alien encounter theorists, yes. As further evidence, they point to another comedian, Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Yankovic has made multiple references to Pauly Shore in his songs.
Like, remember when I told you that I knew Pauly Shore? Pauly Shore, that's a lie, I don't know what I said that for. The flight attendants ran out of Dr. Pepper and salted peanuts, and the in-flight movie was Biodome with Pauly Shore.
Coincidentally, he has also mentioned extraterrestrial life in his songs.
Your pet may be an extraterrestrial. They'll zap you with their death ray eyes and blow you up real good. Run for your lives! Aliens from outer space are sleeping in my car. Midnight star.
But is it really a coincidence? Or is it Al's way of hinting that he knows the truth? The answer is yes, according to alien encounter theorists. And now, let's move on to something that has absolutely nothing to do with what we've been talking about. May 6th, 1937, 35 people were killed in the Hindenburg Disaster. It was said to have been caused by an electrostatic discharge that ignited leaking hydrogen, but alien encounter theorists disagree. Hugotopian scientist Dr. Akab gives his opinion on the situation.
Now, if you were to take fetus and inject it into a body all over the coat, okay, then the manifestation of it would be the dancer. But what if you had the beam? The beam will not go. Beam. No, beam will not go. We all have a cell phone. The beam will go right through. Go right through. Beam go through. But what if the manifestation did not bother to pop? What happened then? Would the orangutan? Would the globy? The hair? What would happen? Will we ever know? Will we ever find out? Out in the stars, will we ever be able to see the earth and the other things way up in the sky? Will we ever be able to know what's going on when we are not looking? That is the question I ask you. That is the question. I leave us with it. And you answer. And I listen. Because I want to know the answer. The question.
What an intelligent man. Perhaps in the future we can learn even more of the science behind this. But for now, all we can do is encounter.
And it shoves that tiny little fetus alien right up my alleyway.